Do we have to say all protocol observed so that way we want to give respect to?
You need to recognize them. I think that's very important.
Okay, so we will.
Want to know that is.
You know what? Maybe we'll try to recognize everybody. Maybe we'll have them introduce themselves. We'll see how the participant numbers go. Hey, Ranit.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Let's go. Welcome. Hello.
Okay, excellent.
Hanan Gidor needs the correct link again. He can't open the link. Yeah. So
send by email again?
Yeah, send it again, and I'm going to send you his WhatsApp also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, shalom, welcome. Okay, T-minus 3 minutes, even though everybody can hear us. So
okay, no.
Careful what you say in the informal time. Is the story behind the hat that George Bush gave it to him, something like that?
Yes, correct. Yes. That's my cowboy, so there's no problem.
Yeah, well, you know, Texas is called the Lone Star State, and then your flag, you know, so there's.
Yeah, then you've got the stars there, so that's
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
All right, we're just gonna check the Facebook, see the numbers go up. Did Alon make it on? I want to make sure he's here.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll just unmute myself and take a start.
Somebody smart figured out how to get it on their TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank people for logging in early and on time.
Yeah. This South Sudanese, we've got one. It is either we're early or we're late. So the best is
so we want to reward with gratitude those who following the rules and came in on time. We're going to still give it a couple more minutes. We had many confirmations, Your Excellency. You should know there's a lot of interest in South Sudan. I think the other thing also is you'll hear more about the partnership with City Israel, but I think they want to make sure that we do face-to-face follow-ups with some of the companies and NGOs. So we want to give them a chance to sign in.
We need all the possible investment and assistance that can.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Okay. Did the ambassador join us?
Yeah, Hanan Goder is on. He hasn't put his video on yet.
Okay.
He's probably looking now for flags, and because His Excellency from South Sudan set a new standard. Hi, Hanan. So you're on mute, but just when you speak, make sure you take yourself off mute. We'll start everybody off on mute. We next time we'll also start with music. We also have a very powerful music video at the end. So stay to the end because we want to introduce you to culture and landscape as well as the relations. But it's worth staying to the end on the musical.
Excellent.
All right. I think this is the 1 minute warning.
Okay. Hey, Ambassador.
Shalom to you.
Shalom, shalom, my brother. How are you?
We are doing fine. We are doing fine.
Nice to see
You have
you.
the big flags. I put the small flags.
I knew you were getting the flags.
That's fine. I love my big flag. So yeah.
No, but Hanan, I said the time where the ambassador said to me yesterday, I mean, the Israeli history part connection is very deep, and maybe next time we can do a deeper history dive, but we'll do it live from Juba. Maybe we can bring David on, who's our mutual hero, and we'll do it from the protocol room of their foreign ministry.
That will be amazing because the historical story is amazing. What happened during the 1960s? It's an amazing part of.
Don't give it away yet. Wait, don't give it away yet. You'll have a chance to speak. Wait, okay, but yes, folks, you're not going to believe what you're about to learn. Okay. So if you're not on mute, this is a good time to put yourself on mute, unless you're one of our speakers. So Maria, can you see who's speaking? Are you able to mute them?
I think it's the ambassador. Oh, here. Yep.
Okay. Well, I think we want to give honor and respect people's time and begin. Well, welcome back to Africa Shine On. I'm your host, Yossi Abramowitz. Previous shows, we had the honor of highlighting ambassadors from Zambia, Ethiopia, and Kenya. Today's special edition, South Sudan. Next show, June 30th, 4 p.m. Israel time, will be Rwanda. From the second that Foreign Minister Golda Meir began a 5-nation tour of Africa, there's been an on again and then off again and now on again love affair between Israel and Africa, and therefore also between the Jewish people in Africa. The founder of modern Zionism, Theodor Herzl, wrote in his diary that after he brings about the redemption of the Jews in their ancient homeland, he also wanted to help liberate the blacks from colonialism in Africa. I have a unique view of Africa, both from family, but also through the solar energy lens. And my understanding is that Israel has the potential to be a superpower of goodness in Africa through our industries of goodness, like water, agriculture, clean energy, medicine, and all the NGOs that some of our partners represent today. Speaking of partners, we're really pleased to kick off a wonderful new collaboration to be able to give further reach and then more impact to Shine On Africa, Africa Shine On. So the two partners are the Society for International Development Israel, SID Israel, as well as the great law firm, which we use in our Avant Power, Herzog Fox in Ne'eman. I want to do a shout out to Hillel Silverman and Socialite for their social media. But this is a time, Janet and Alon, if you can just give a little bit words of opening to kick us off.
I was sure, I'd be happy to. So my name is Janet Bahima. I'm from Herzog Fox Ne'eman. The field I work in is international corporate transactions, but I also run our impact investment practice area. I really want to thank all of you for joining us today, and a special shout out to those bold enough to turn on your cameras, because it's really nice to see you guys as well. For the past about 3 years, we've been collaborating with SID and other partners in our series that we call Destination Africa, Continent of Tomorrow, where we explore opportunities and challenges and partnerships between Israel and countries in Africa. So with our restrictions and lockdowns and social distancing, we went digital, and we focused a few weeks ago on West Africa. I'm incredibly excited that Destination Africa is now combining with the Africa Shine On series that Yossi Abramovitz has been running. And today we're going to focus on the newest country on the planet, with its significance to Israel being so multifaceted. You'll hear so much more, but remember that Israel recognized South Sudan on July 10th, 2011. That was one day after South Sudan became an independent country. 5 days later, South Sudan announced that it was going to have full diplomatic relations with Israel. That's a big significance. So I'll let our guests give you the more information, but what an honor to have South Sudan's ambassador to Israel with us to join us on our journey today. And I guess, Yossi, I've heard a lot of your Shine On series, and I know that sometimes you like to shake things up and surprise people a little bit. So I got to stop for a minute just in case some of you don't know Yossi that well. In terms of teaming up with Yossi, I could throw out the whole program and spend an hour hearing about his life, and it would be amazing, and most of it you won't even believe. I mean, like, how can such a down-to-earth, friendly, warm person have accomplished as much as him? So let's leave aside our power and gigawatt and Energia Global and his efforts.
Maria, you're supposed to cut people off when they make trouble.
Yeah, this is getting better though. His efforts to bring solar energy to so many countries, Africa, Jews, Arabs, and Israel. But did anyone know he's been arrested twice? Once for for Soviet Jewry.
What are you doing?
His activism for Soviet Jewry led to 3 co-nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. I told you weren't going to believe most of this, but I'm going to keep going a little more. Second time he was arrested was on behalf of Ethiopian Jewry. He's been on 2 hunger strikes. He's married to one of Erotica's top 10 sexy rabbis of 2013. I wonder how many of you heard of that list.
We have diplomats. We have to keep this, rated G.
He's got 5 kids. 2 of them were adopted from Ethiopia. And Yossi is repeatedly named in the Jerusalem Post list of 50 most influential Jews worldwide. He has even beat out Bar Raffaelli in the rankings. I am just so overwhelmed to join you, Yossi. And Yossi, I cannot wait to get started.
Thank you. That was really over the top and unnecessary. Thank you. It's very, very kind. And we met through impact investing. I want to do a shout out to our impact investors in Gigawatt and Energia. And we're doing this in this time slot because of our Australian friends. Shout out to Pauline, my sister. Alon, please don't say anything about me. She already did too much.
Yeah, no, I will just say that you are really a rock star.
No.
So Mr. Ambassador and Mr. Ambassador, we have 2 with us this afternoon, and Yossi, of course, and Janet. Again, always great pleasure to cooperate with you, and mainly today in this fascinating meeting. I will just say briefly that we, the Society for International Development, are trying to create more and more opportunities that will allow increasing the Israeli involvement in low and mid-income countries through cooperation with local partners. We believe that Israel and Israelis can contribute to address global challenges, but in order to do so in the right way, we should make sure we truly understand the actual needs and requests from our potential local partners. These meetings today is an example for what we are trying to offer to our 150 members who are coming from the private sector, the civil society, and the academy, and also from the Israeli government. And we hope that this is only a beginning of a process that, in cooperation with the ambassador here in Israel and with our ambassador in South Sudan and with our partners, it will allow us to create the platform for concrete discussions on how Israelis can be more active, identify opportunities, identify local partners in South Sudan in order to take this great vision into practical things on the ground. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Yossi, for this initiative, and Janet, and I wish us a fruitful discussion.
Yofi. Toda. We see this forum as not a place for politics. Our goal is friendship, true friendship, and to leverage the friendship with Africa to lift up human dignity wherever we can. It's an imperfect world, and we're all citizens of imperfect countries, aren't we? But let's work together to make the world a better place, especially for the most vulnerable people at this most vulnerable moment in history. Your Excellencies, we have not just one, but two, and maybe even kind of three or more. All protocol observed, because I know members of the diplomatic corps are coming on, and you can also be given advanced rights to ask a question if you would like. But we're so honored that you're here in Israel with us. We know that spiritually you're with us, and we're going to hear more about that. But Ambassador Arik, you have served with dignity in very key positions in the foreign ministry for the Republic of South Sudan, but you haven't served that long, because Janet gave away the, you're only 9 years old. But we'd like to, the first question shortly will go to you after the introductions. But we're so honored. We have Ambassador Hanan Goder, who represents the State of Israel. He's based here, but he's, when we're back to traveling, we'll all be back in Juba shortly. But then I want to say hi, a shout out to Her Most Excellency, Ronit Ben David, really a goodwill ambassador for the people of South Sudan, to Israel and the Jewish people, along with her brother Yaniv. And for the Americans here, as our friend Jimmy Kimmel says, and if there's time, we'll also try to welcome that at the end of the show, not only Matt Damon, but maybe the new Foreign Minister, Gabi Ashkenazi. Your Excellency, we will start just giving you the floor. Just tell us about yourself, your background, your time at the Gatherly Institute, of course, your service to your country, and what's it been like representing South Sudan here in Israel. Your Excellency, the floor is yours. Your Excellency, you're on mute. Maria, can you unmute him?
Yes, can you hear me?
Now you're on.
Okay.
Live from a beautiful embassy overlooking the beach. His Excellency, Ambassador.
Thank you. You see, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, thank all the people who made it so possible. So I feel that very honored to be on this show today. And I'm Ambassador Wal Mayar Ariej. I'm the second ambassador to Israel. And basically, my background is I studied law and economics at University of North London. I also attended College of Law. I also attended your renowned or known Galilee Institute of International Management. And I am a family man. I'm married and blessed with children. So that's also very important, because any man, what is important behind any man, there is always an important woman. So that's more appreciated. I am pleased to be in the second ambassador. I've always wanted to serve my country and to serve in Israel. So thank His Excellency President Kir Mayadi for appointing me and nominating me to be the ambassador extraordinary plenipotentiary for the Republic of South Sudan in the State of Israel. Now, my service to my people, I mean, I started off as a student activist. I participated in liberation war on the political side of the SPLM. I was once a liaison officer of the SPLM-SPLA in our representative office in London. My diplomatic career, I started as a political, economic, and investment officer in London. Liaison officer used to be Southern Sudan liaison office before our independence, and then later on we became an independent country in 2011. Then we have the embassy. I also served in our mission for a few years before I was appointed and recalled back to Republic of South Sudan, to my country. How long have I been in Israel? Yes, I can actually say I've been here for almost 2 years, so that is 2018. What is significant about it is actually when I arrived this country, I was accredited immediately that it is unheard of within a week. In some cases, you have to wait more than that. So that is, in the nutshell, that is the little, and then as to my impression of Israel is a positive one. It is an innovative, resilient, hardworking society. It is called the nation of the startup nation. So I like the idea of innovation and being what is called a startup nation. So which also South Sudan to be a startup nation soon. And this is my humble background, and I'm privileged and honored to be on your show today.
Thank you. And speak a little bit, if you can, about your family and what does it mean to be, as a Christian, to be assigned to the Holy Land?
Well, that really you want us to jump into what is our relationship? How do we become so interlinked with people of Israel? You can actually say that South Sudan have two relations, historical relations as well as spiritual relations. South Sudan is as old as the Bible. I think if you refer to Isaiah 18, you will talk about the land of Cush, the land of rivers, the tall, smooth people. So basically that is, so we have a spiritual link with Israel as well as historical link with Israel. And for that matter, our relationship is very historical and is spiritual. And that is the best way you can actually describe that relationship of South Sudan and people of Israel.
And your first visit to the old city, did you bring your family? Like, describe what it was like to walk the Via Dolorosa.
Well, it was very good experience. The first time to go to Jerusalem, and distinctly the King David Hotel. This is where we, when you are accredited, this is where we started off. Then we were picked up from there to go to His Excellency the President in order to be accredited. So that was kind of a holy journey, and I had my family with me and my friends. Ambassador Goder, my other brother from the other side of the world of Israel, from Israel. So it was very good experience, interesting and warm welcome.
Right. So I was trying to give basically our participants and our viewers a feeling that there is that natural warmth. And whenever I've met anybody from, I was at the UN, and there are people like, and I just say I'm from Jerusalem, and you can feel I like how you refer to the ambassador as your brother, and I understand it, and I think it's nice to open that up. And look, in a short way, can you give us a little bit of the relationship between South Sudan and Israel? We will do a follow-up show to go, to go in depth with Mossad and everything else. But I don't think people are aware of the unique, also political and diplomatic history of our peoples.
Well, in fact, our historical perspective and relationship with the people of Israel and the state of Israel started a long time ago. That is in 60s. At the time when people were going to the moon, the Americans were going to the moon, people of South Sudan were being oppressed and murdered, and nobody actually cared about what was happening in Sudan and in South Sudan at that time. So the only, and not to say the least that the others have not assisted, but the only people who thought of people of South Sudan were Israelis. They were able to deliver medicine, food relief through Mashaf, and by diligent young people, Israelis who were at the time were able to assist people of South Sudan at the time of need. So probably that would explain why people of South Sudan have that kind of historical and spiritual link to Israel. And I think this is the starting off of our relationship with the people of Israel, apart from the Bible. Again, I will not do a service if I don't actually mention at the time the Prime Minister. late Prime Minister Golden Meir. I think people of South Sudan are grateful because that was the time when she was Prime Minister, and probably a decision to assist the people of South Sudan with all the assistance and help was her decision, and that is appreciated.
Amazing, amazing. Also, Maria, we're about to show the 30-second clip of the first video. Also, when people think South Sudan, you know, they may have sort of different images, but 50 years ago, if you could, you know, imagine what Juba was like then, I think we're about to surprise everybody and show a short clip of Juba today, just so that people really, and we'll see another clip later of the countryside. But for our viewers, here's a little taste of Juba that will blow you away. Look,
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy, but it's so.
so
That is Sudan. I think it's not this. Khartoum is not Juba. So.
Oh, so our research intern may have messed up. Juba does have a hotel. Sorry about that. So our research, apologies. I hope we didn't make a diplomatic incident, Your Excellency. But the Nile River goes right through, and you were talking about the historic connections. And there's a lot of construction happening in Juba, including the grid. The most modern grid in all of Africa is in Juba. I think a lot of the people on the show want to know what's happening with COVID, and you know, are worried about Africa, and the people on the show worried about South Sudan. So can you give us a little bit about that?
Well, the COVID-19 have been a concern of people of South Sudan, and in fact, our leadership under the leadership of President Salva Kiir Mayardit, he from the beginning ordered a formation of a task force that was to manage the daily matters related to COVID-19. And I think that committee or the task force have worked endlessly in order to fight COVID-19 by awareness and advising the public, and also the government from the beginning have taken measures to lock down both the air and the land, and prevented people to move. There were curfews given in order to make sure that people, because you know, we have a tradition that we are a very extended family, and people want to go to places, want to go to their families. And I think from the beginning, the government took very strict curfew and regulation in order to control the spread of pandemic COVID-19.
Yeah,
because South Sudan is not an island. We are related to international community and others, so we held on for a long time with zero cases of COVID-19. But because as we are not an island, then COVID-19 was was imported to South Sudan, and then it spread. So basically, you can say we have figures of 1,700 and death of recorded death of 30 people. Now the committee itself has been reconstituted by His Excellency the President to be more technical than political led, because I think the technical people are more in control in the sense that they know what they're doing, but with the vision of the leadership still, being His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, and the one of the vice president who is the concern with the service colors. So again, recently we also have a new undersecretary for the Ministry of Health, who is a very professional doctor, who actually studied and finished and practiced in the United Kingdom, and is taking the matters further. And we think that it is only that we do not have the capacity, but we are doing what we can to pin down COVID-19 spreading to the countryside.
Yeah, our prayers are certainly with you, your people, the vice president, and the other people affected. Ronit wants to know when you think the airport will open up, because
South Sudan has opened up. We have recently relaxed the regulation. We have never stopped relief assistance transportation into Juba, whether by air or by land, or not so goods, because we are a landlocked country. We need good deliveries to produce to the people of South Sudan.
Right.
Now the international airspace, or the airport is open, so it is
okay.
You can go anytime you want to go.
Yeah. Do we go into quarantine, or we can go right to work?
What we advise here is actually you get a COVID-19 free certificate, and we will give you a visa the same day. I can actually promise that under 10 minutes. If you want to go under 5 minutes, you will get your visa from here to South Sudan. The only requirement is you get a certificate saying that you are COVID-19 free.
Yes.
Of course, diplomats like Ambassador Goder, this may not apply to, because all the other accredited diplomats do go to South Sudan and come back.
Well, we just finished a feasibility study, which I have to present. So we do want to come as soon as we're able to. But thank you.
To keep the social distance, I think that's which is I mean, we're doing that against the law.
Yes. Just for people to understand, Maria, next video, when he says they're trying to prevent it to go to the countryside, South Sudan, with about 11 million people, is almost like 30 times the size of Israel. When we're talking about countryside, you follow the rivers and the lakes. So let's get a little bit just to give people a sense of the what South Sudan looks like. This is the correct video. We apologize for the technical difficulties. All right, she's I think contending with people trying to get in. It is a beautiful, expansive country, a lot of wildlife, a lot of water. You've been blessed with water in most of the places, and of course there's some Israeli water technologies and NGOs who are here. At this point, Hanan, Ambassador Hanan, do you want to say something in terms of the importance of the relationship with South Sudan, and maybe you have a question for His Excellency? And if we've lost him, then we're going to turn to Ronit in a minute, but let's give him a chance. Ambassador Hanan.
Do you hear me now?
We can hear you. Great. Yes. So,
I mean,
you represent us to the Republic.
Yes, I'm the Israeli ambassador to South Sudan. This is already my 6th year. I started in 2014. And what is amazing to say about the friendship is that South Sudan is the 2nd country in the world where you can go and see Israeli flags flying all over the buildings. So wherever you go, you will be amazed to see in how many places people put the Israeli flag on their buildings, on the offices, in shops, wherever you go. And I think this is a remarkable phenomenon to detect. And this is very, very interesting when people go and visit these places.
All right.
Do you have a question for the ambassador?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, what I'm okay. I want to add to what Ambassador Godet is saying. In fact, that the only 2nd place on earth, as he said, that an Israeli citizen or a person would be welcome is in South Sudan. So it is a fact, and that is, as I already explained, it is a spiritual relation. It's something that people of South Sudan will only be them to explain. That kind of relationship. So it is, you know, it is a place where you are welcome, and we are saying, encouraging the Israeli people to invest and do business in South Sudan in any best way that they can, because it's a place where you go, you feel at home. You can ask those who don't eat. As you say already, Ambassador Ronit, because she's like a citizen of South Sudan. She has lived in South Sudan, and she will be able to explain to you the feeling, you know, when you live among the people of South Sudan. You can hear me, you see? Hello?
Yes,
I can hear you.
Okay.
Gotta unmute Yossi. Let's unmute Yossi so we can hear him again.
Yeah, okay. I can hear you, yes.
Yossi, you're on mute and I can unmute you.
Hi, it's a nice way to do that. Yes, South Sudan became like our home. We went for South Sudan before 5 or 6 years. We heard there is a new country. So me and Yaniv understood we can collaborate humanitarian and business as one. And we go to South Sudan, and the country was without infrastructure. And we need to understand it's what everything is obvious in a Western world. It wasn't obvious there because if we take the example, the electricity. So the electricity in every other place, it's a ad for the electricity who's existing. And in South Sudan, it's a new thing. You don't have electricity in hospital. You don't have in airport. They're using generators. And me and Yaniv swear when we sit on the hospital that we bring the electricity to there. So it's amazing country with amazing people. You cannot not fall in love with them. Amazing people.
Excellent.
And they make you feel like home.
That's great, Ronit. That's really great. And,
thank you.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to see you. And how's your brother? I think I haven't seen him on. Is your brother here on the show, or is that?
He's here. He's here. Come in. He's watching it from different computer.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. You're welcome. As we already said, that is your second home. You
definitely
good job. You've got 10 MW megawatt solar system panel, and you wanted to understand your program. This is one of the important programs, and is going to kick off soon. So that's very interesting. And
Please, God. But before we get to the program, I want to say, Your Excellency, I haven't yet been to South Sudan. My apologies. But now with things moving, it's great. But Ronit, I came to love South Sudan through you and through Yaniv's eyes. What is
Yes.
it about South Sudan that inspired your imagination? Because there's something there special.
We read that there is a new country, and we start to read about it. And we know what these people through with the years and what happened in this country. And it was like, and these people really suffer like our people before Israel. And when we came here, we surprised to see really, really happy people with loving eyes, with a lot of hope to build a country. And it's like they forget what they've been through, and all the time they're full of joy. So you cannot fall in love with these people. So that's the reason me and Yaniv we definitely stay there.
And when are you planning to come again?
And we wait. The last time we talked, you said we need to sit in the hotel 2 weeks. So if now we don't need that, so we will come now.
Soon, very, very soon.
Very soon, yes.
Very soon. But the idea is that Juba could be the first African city powered 100% solar power during the day, at a fraction of the cost of the diesel power. That's a vision that Ronit and Yaniv brought to me a while ago. It's taken some time, but we're very, very close. And there's, just to let people know, there's a new government as well in place, and therefore a new energy minister who we hope to present very, very shortly the updated materials. So thank you for asking about it and for moving it forward. We want to start encouraging people in the chat to post their questions, and we'll monitor as well the Facebook. I'm obviously having some technology issues, so Maria, if you could manage that a little bit. But really feel free to ask any of the panelists questions. Anything coming up?
Actually, maybe I'll just pop in instead of writing. It'll be a little easier for me. But I'd love to hear a little bit about the fields, the areas in the South Sudan economy that the ambassador thinks are particularly ripe for two things: investment in particular, and with your being here for 2 years, Israeli technology in particular. Where have you seen things where you'd say, this is where we want Israeli technology?
Correct. I think as I said, the need or the potential huge resource that we have in South Sudan and the opportunities to invest. The big thing is actually agriculture. We need an investment in agriculture because South Sudan has a vast land. And also the other important area of cooperation is the water management. And we have a lot of water from the Nile, but we have a problem of having a clean water, because the Nile water, although it is fresh, you need a way to treat them in order to be used, and for both for the human consumption and agriculture. So we see a potential investment opportunity for Israeli companies and people of Israel to invest in particular agriculture. We have a program which is very important. A very important area of cooperation with Israel is training in agriculture. There is a program of training young people, South Sudanese, in areas of agriculture. That program, we call it a program of learn and earn. And I think through cooperation with the government of Israel, in particular the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have been able to train 120 young South Sudanese of whom some of them now have actually started to do investment in agriculture. They've started to set up their own small companies, and they're doing good. The second area is, of course, is the area of power. Like Ronit have already said, we want, you need power, you need water. And again, we have a huge resource in different fields. You have copper, you have gold, you have limestone, iron ore, you have zinc, you have, in fact, South Sudan have the most, the huge reserve of copper deposit in the area like Upper Nahas in Baragazal. You need an investment. So the institutional investment opportunities or the areas of investment.
We've gotten a bunch of more questions. People want to know, what is the healthcare system like, and what kind of plans do you have for improving, and where can Israel be helpful on healthcare? People are asking about wastewater management, and there's a bunch of questions also on education. So if you can tell us about these three different fields, I think that's where some of our people would like to follow up with you.
The health system, of course, we lack the capacity. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I hear you well.
Now, there is a potential in investment in the health area. First of all, we have the National Health Service. We need capacities, the hospitals, the primary health care, and the equipment.
Other people are having trouble with the audio.
Can you hear me? And then the equipment for the hospital. I think there is a huge potential investment there. And those one who particularly have expertise in health service are welcome to invest in health sector in South Sudan. So few hospitals or few clinics, private clinics are in South Sudan. So we want to see those who can invest in South Sudan health sector, and they will be welcome. There is an opportunity to do what we call PPP, that is PPA, that is public-private partnership. So basically, those who are interested to invest in any projects that are of government nature are welcome to invest in South Sudan. And have I answered your question? The second is in the area of education. We need all the capacities that are, training in different fields, in particular the agriculture, education, health service, in particular the primary health service, and water sanitation. There is a market there.
There are people asking for how to be in touch with you. Apparently what you said intrigued some of our participants. So I think to be in touch with Alon and Maria through the City for International Development, and we'll pass along, if it's okay with you, your contact info, Your Excellency.
Yeah, my contacts are available. They will be made available if you, the email is there. There, I think if you go on a website, or if you need,
and through the embassy as well.
If you need my personal contact, even you have my personal contact, but the embassy is there. So if you want to visit our embassy for further discussion, please, you are welcome. And our telephone number will be made available for those who are interested.
Yossi and Mr. Ambassador, we will be happy if you find it relevant, maybe put together with Janet and with Yossi, maybe a concrete roundtable on a specific issues like energy and infrastructure or water and agriculture, and maybe with you and maybe with some of your colleagues in South Sudan, we can create a platform for a real concrete discussion about the needs and how Israel can approach them, Israelis can approach them and try to bring it into a practical level.
That's very interesting. So let's say after the meeting we will exchange all the contacts and we'll move the matters from there. So we will be very practical, and that will be very interesting. So thank you for then.
And on the NGO front, how can some of the NGOs be helpful, especially if the airport is opening up? What would you need most in the next 3 months?
Well, we we have a lot of challenges at the moment. One of them is, of course, help with COVID-19, the testing equipment, the personal protection kit, and any relief assistance that is afforded will be welcomed by people of South Sudan. There is, we would not be able to explain the huge need and challenges South Sudan is facing at the moment. But those who are interested are welcome in any way that they could. One of them is, of course, humanitarian assistance, also the technical assistance, because now there are the issues of South Sudan are compounded by the fact that we've just come out of war and peace is being implemented. There are rains, there's flooding everywhere. So the need are huge, and so the best part of it would be those who want to help on humanitarian. We will put them in contact with the humanitarian sector in South Sudan in order to help in any way it can. But the most challenging issue now is COVID-19. Is actually the facility and capacity to manage and fight COVID-19. That is the most appealing situation that needs to be addressed in South Sudan at the moment.
Ambassador, we have a question from Mickey. I'd like to let Mickey be unmuted and then we can hear his question directly.
Good afternoon to everybody. Those who don't know me, I'm Mickey Lazar, but I think Honorable Ambassador knows me well from previous activities. These days, I represent a company which has developed a very innovative and disruptive technology for energy storage based on flow battery using vanadium. We are looking to South Sudan to implement a very innovative solution based on the idea of combining solar photovoltaic and energy storage, and by that to provide to the whole nation a solution for the energy need. For that, we are looking for local mines of vanadium. So if it is possible to get a map of different resources, especially vanadium, for the South Sudanese environment, this can be a significant step forward, because this will enable us to create in South Sudan a facility to manufacture these energy storages, and by that to come with the solution for the South Sudanese energy challenge.
Wow. So first of all, as an energy person, we want to hear anyway about the, and if the mining and manufacturing and the jobs can be local, then we're going to add battery storage to the solar field. So Mr. Ambassador, you might have a 2-for-1, through this. That would be amazing.
The concept that we want to promote is an African product for the Africans made in South Sudan.
Yes, you are welcome, and I think, thank you for your interest. You have always been associated through the training. I mean, I must actually say thank you because you have been one of the people that have trained our young ones during their, their training in Israel on this program of Learn and End program. And some of your youth that you've trained are doing their best now. So what I want to say is very simple, is that you are welcome with your ideas. I think you have my contact, and we take the matters from there. The investment, the Ministry of the Investment Authority have all the map of investment areas, and it will be your interest to choose your area of interest in order to invest. I will make sure that the material is made available to you.
Nice.
As possible.
Look at that. You get another deal out of that's just exactly what we want to happen. Wonderful. Good, Mickey. Let us know what happens.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
And possibly, if you want to go to South Sudan, we will encourage a person of your character to go as soon as possible. The only is the requirement of 14 days and then COVID-19 free certificate. But otherwise, if you want to go to South Sudan tomorrow, I'll give you the visa.
Thank you.
We'll talk about that. Thank you very much.
So we only have several other minutes, and I think one of this is what I really took from Ronit, is this notion of a young state, struggling with it has ambitions, it's had significant challenges, and we understand that. But what's it like to launch a country, and what's that feeling of independence like when it is declared? Just take us back to that aspiration and that feeling of achieving self-determination.
Correct. I think the history of South Sudan has been one of hardship and struggle. However, the people of South Sudan are very resilient people, and they fought and aimed their freedom. And I think 2011 stands in our history to be a day, July the 9th, 2011, to be a great day for people of South Sudan. In particular, I remember personally when I was in our mission in our liaison office in London, that I was asked to lower the flag of Old Sudan and raise our flag of New Sudan. And I think that moment was a moment that I could not believe, because we have all just been struggling and struggling, but here comes the freedom. Now the freedom, so basically what we are saying, that has been the best enjoyable day of our lives and the life of people of South Sudan. And basically it also says, the flag behind me, and this is to my young people or to our friends, is that nobody's going to take that flag down. It is the only challenge we have is how to move and improve, holding up of that flag from here, i.e. being the governance, the development, in a sense, our leadership and the government as a principle of saying we want to take town to the people. We want to do roads. We want to, rather than citizens coming to town, we want to have the system by which services go to the people. And I think this is a huge challenge South Sudan is having. But the Independent Day was one of a day that you cannot imagine, and people were so excited, and we have been very excited.
We actually can imagine, because we have black and white films of the day where Israel was. And I think that's part of the feeling of brotherhood and anything we can do in this. You talked about the resiliency of the South Sudanese people, and certainly there have been difficult times, and we were trying to find a music video that would capture both, the heartache when there's been heartache, but also the joy that Ronit spoke about and the resiliency. So I hope we haven't made any diplomatic faux pas. I don't know what some of the words mean or any of that, but we're about to show a music video so people can get a sense of the culture on that. With that, before we push play, I really want to thank everybody, both ambassadors and all the panelists and all the partners. Our apologies to Gabi Ashkenazi. We ran out of time, maybe next time. And remember, the next show of Africa Shine On will be with Rwanda on Tuesday, June 30th at 4 p.m. with our partners from Herzog, Fox, Ne'eman, and Sid Israel. Your Excellency, it means so much to us that you're here, that you're really the living embodiment of this friendship and the cooperation, and you know that we stand as full partners to do anything we can, because we too have went from heartbrokenness and difficulty from darkness to light, right? And so our gratitude and our blessings. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Shine On, music.
Do I have to shout out loud, let you know I feel the pain? Do you see my tears? Oh, tell me now. Do you hear me now? Asuma Anna.
Veteran, bishete muanina mafai, mashan bad marat, kene dunai. No mundu kuru mavina shaka, nena mina shaka, bad barao, the dune hopla, vi hosna, kuku, jota, lo, ete vanano taban, arva sota. So we sing out loud, proud and sotna, spreading message of love and peace on sotna. They feeding the hear our voices sotna. Greater Barakazal, upper Nile, Equatoria. None the least, we need peace desperately in order to achieve a bloodshed-free 2017.
Before you make another mother cry, please don't fight. Before you make another blood to run, please don't fight. Rija bele na wara, please don't fight. We raise our voices for peace. We raise our voices for peace. Tu bin de sot comme des autres, ma tu bin de sot comme des autres. عشان نوقف قبلية إلى بصوتنا عشان نوقف كراهية إلى بصوتنا صوتها يبرو على أقوانا في كيمز صوتها يبرو على أقوانا في دياسبرا I say I stay for the nation I stand for the country I stand for the peace Lord help us
Nali madal pin rulda wadantan alburan kwalay bada balway wadalay pinch min alwajh min akol nali pin rulda woga we dor but South Sudan nali pin rulda achu we bupinga de grachuna ko de grachutu ko de grachuloy kala pin rulda awi ko chang but South Sudan nali pin rulda kuna de gra we bukai liap South Sudan nali pin rulda ka changwe nali pin rulda woga we chang but South Sudan nali pin rulda
whoa please don't fight before you make another mother cry, please don't fight. Before you make another blood to run, please don't fight. Rija bele na wara, please don't fight. We raise our voices for peace. We raise our voices for peace.
I came across them children, I saw pain and I saw tears, asking questions, why? Can you hear me? I'm so scared. Can you hear me? I'm so tired. Can you hear me? I need love.
Where's the love, my people? Yeah.
Star March, bum rush.
For freedom, justice, and equality. For love, for peace that must be a part of we. My voice chokes off the dust first, then blinded off the meticulous rush. Strangers begging for mercy, yet their ashes witness injustice. So the reason ain't feasible. Now somebody please tell me, when was the lasting hunting season? Seasons for love, seasons for peace, seasons for hugs, seasons of kisses. Now the truth is twisted. Toys, yes, stories that we inhale poison of.
We raise our voices,
yes, voices that explain extortion of. Yet people deserve a straight story.
No, 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 no. Akbarta hajat al batal hasi. Oh yeah. I don't know where we going. No, no. Fekir kuwais before our country suffering. Fekir kuwais. Ubal jenatani matala atim. Fekir kuwais before another woman becomes a widow. Fekir kuwais. Asuma le sota muatin no. Sotal muatin de sotal salam. Masot kalam lakin sotal salam. Sotal muatin de sotal mustawa. Wa adala no.
Wow. We raise our voices for peace.
Correct.
Shalom, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Hanan, Ambassador. Thank you.
Can I just can I say thank you, friends? And,
yes.
And the last message that we would want is you help people of South Sudan to implement peace, because all this are possible if there's peace. So basically we are implementing peace the way we could, but we need help and encouragement to implement peace. And the priority of South Sudan is number 1, peace, number 2, peace, 3, peace. So friends, if you help us to implement peace, rather than being sanctioned, that will help the people of South Sudan to invest in their resources and make our friends welcome and invest in the huge potential available natural resources in South Sudan. And thank you very much, Yussi, Sid, and the rest who have done tremendously for me to be on this show today. And
great honor.
Excellencies, my my ambassadors. So all protocol observed. Thank you, ambassadors, for being on show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Shalom. And to Maria, our producer. Woo! Okay. All right. We will follow up in Alon. Maybe we should have a session at Herzog Fox Ne'eman on South Sudan in person with those who want to invest, explore investing, and NGO and other work.
Definitely. We will talk about it afterward. Thank you all.
Okay. Shalom. Thank you. Rwanda, June 30th, 4 p.m. Be there.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.